Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really plunging into the complicated world of cybersecurity threats.
Yeah, we've gathered quite a bit of information on how these attacks work and, who's actually doing them.
Right. And our goal, really, is to bring all this down for you, the listener. Make sense of the landscape, why it matters.
We'll be looking at different methods, digital tricks, physical stuff, too.
And trying to understand the motivations behind it all.
Exactly. Knowing what the threats are is one thing.
But the how and the who, that's key. Right, understanding the techniques, the groups, their goals.
Absolutely. It helps build better defenses, personally and for organizations. And honestly, the way these methods keep changing is, well, it's something else.
Okay, so let's start unpacking. Phishing seems like a good place to begin. It's a term most people have heard.
For sure. But it's more than just those obviously fake emails. It's a whole spectrum.
Like business email compromise, BEC.
Right, that's where attackers pretend to be someone you trust inside your company.
Maybe your boss, asking for a wire transfer or some sensitive info.
Precisely. And it works surprisingly often if the email looks convincing enough.
And it gets more targeted than that, doesn't it? Spear phishing.
Yeah, spear phishing zooms in on specific people or departments. The emails are super personalized.
They look like they're coming from someone you actually know and trust.
Exactly. And if they're aiming really high, like for CEOs or board members, that's called whaling.
Wow. The amount of research needed to fool an executive like that.
It's significant. They really do their homework.
It's like digital con artistry. But it's not just email anymore, is it?
Not at all. These tactics are bleeding over into other channels.
Like phone calls?
Phishing, voice phishing, using calls to trick you into giving up info, or maybe impersonating tech support to get access to your computer.
Those dreaded fake support calls.
And then you've got smishing, same idea, but using SMS text messages.
Often with that sense of urgency, click here now or your account will be blocked, kind of thing.
Right, trying to get you to react before you think. It's about exploiting the trust we place in different communication methods.
Using the channels we feel most comfortable with against us. Okay, let's shift gears to malware. Malicious software.
Yeah, software designed to harm devices, networks, usually for money or sometimes for intelligence gathering.
So we have viruses. These need you to do something, right? Like click an attachment.
Typically, yes. User initiation is needed for them to spread and damage data.
And worms. They sound worse.
They can be. Worms are self-replicating. They can spread across networks automatically without anyone clicking anything. Much faster propagation.
Okay, and the one we hear so much about, ransomware.
Ugh, yes. That's the one that encrypts your files, locks you out.
And demands a ransom payment to get them back.
Exactly. It can cripple businesses. Then there's spyware.
More sneaky.
Definitely. It hides on your device, collects your data, emails, texts, location, browsing habit.
And sells it without you knowing.
Often, yes. Sold to third parties. Each malware type has its own way in and causes different kinds of trouble.
Which brings us to maybe the most interesting part, the human factor. Social engineering.
Ah, yes. This is all about manipulation, exploiting human error, our trust, our helpfulness, even fear.
To get private info, access, valuables.
Pretty much. And it's not just digital. Think about social media phishing.
Using details we share online to make attacks more believable.
Exactly. All that info we put out there makes their job easier. Or there's the watering hole attack.
That sounds ominous.
It's a clever, if sinister, approach. Instead of targeting individuals directly, they compromise websites they know a specific group often visits.
So the targets come to the threat, basically. Chilling. And this extends to the physical world, too.
Oh, absolutely. USB baiting is a classic.
Leaving infected USB drives lying around, hoping someone plugs it in.
Curiosity gets the better of us sometimes. And then there's physical social engineering itself.
Like someone just walking into a building pretending to be a repair person.
Yeah, impersonating legitimate personnel to gain physical access. It can be surprisingly simple sometimes.
So why does social engineering keep working? You'd think we'd be wise to it by now.
It taps into fundamental psychology. Authority is a big one, pretending to be the boss.
Intimidation, too, sometimes.
Yes. Or consensus. Social proof, making it seem like everyone else is doing it. Scarcity. Urgency. Making you act fast.
Familiarity, building trust over time.
Exactly. All these levers. And as we said, the amount of data online just fuels its effectiveness.
Okay, so beyond those main categories, there are other attack types to be aware of. Password attacks.
Yeah, pretty straightforward, trying to guess or crack passwords to get into systems. Falls under communication and network security generally.
And social engineering, as we discussed, exploits human psychology. That links to security and risk management.
Right. Phishing, smishing, vishing, DEC, watering holes, USB baiting. They all fit under that umbrella.
Then physical attacks, where digital meets physical.
Like those malicious USB cables, not just drives. They look like chargers but steal data.
Wow, okay. Or card cloning, skimming at ATMs.
Classic physical methods. It shows security isn't just about screens and servers. Asset security is crucial, that physical dimension.
Got it. Next one sounds very sci-fi. Adversarial artificial intelligence.
Yeah, this is attackers using AI and machine learning themselves.
To make their attacks better, more efficient.
Exactly. Generating more convincing phishing emails automatically, finding vulnerabilities in AI security tools, automating parts of the attack. It's the next evolution, really.
A constant arms race.
Pretty much. It touches on communication security, but also identity and access management, depending on how it's used.
And supply chain attacks. These seem particularly dangerous.
They are insidious, yes. Yeah. They target any point in the network of suppliers and partners an organization uses.
So compromising one vendor could impact many others down the line.
Precisely. If you hack a software provider, you might push malicious updates to all their customers. It's a huge challenge.
Because you have to worry about your vendor's security, not just your own.
Right. It spans multiple security domains, risk management, architecture, operations. It's complex.
And lastly, cryptographic attacks. Aimed at breaking encryption.
Yeah, trying to find weaknesses in the math or the way encryption is implemented.
Things like birthday attacks, collision attacks. Sounds technical.
The math can get complex, but the goal is simple. Bypass the security provided by cryptography to access protected data. That's firmly in the communication and network security domain.
Okay, so that's a good overview of the how. Let's talk about the who. The threat actors. Understanding their motives seems vital.
Absolutely. Knowing who might target you and why helps shape your defense strategy.
We hear about advanced persistent threats, APTs. These sound serious.
They generally are. Highly skilled, often state-sponsored or state-affiliated groups.
With big resources.
Yes. And their goal is usually long-term, stealthy access to valuable targets, big companies, governments, critical infrastructure.
What are they after?
Espionage, stealing intellectual property, maybe damaging infrastructure, or just setting up for future operations. It's not quick smash and grab. It's a long game.
Then there are insider threats.
Yeah.
The danger comes from within.
Correct. People who already have legitimate access and abuse it.
Why would they do that?
Money, revenge, ideology, maybe they're being blackmailed, or sometimes it's just unintentional negligence leading to a breach.
They're hard to detect, I imagine.
Very. Because they already have keys to the kingdom, so to speak. They know the systems, the data. The potential damage is high.
And hacktivists. Driven by politics or ideology?
Exactly. Using hacking skills for activism, website defacements, denial of service attacks, leaking data.
To make a statement, disrupt, raise awareness for their cause.
Right. It's a form of digital protest or propaganda.
Okay, the term hacker itself covers a lot of ground, doesn't it? It's not just one type of person.
Not at all. You have authorized hackers, ethical hackers, or penetration testers.
The good guys. Testing defenses legally.
Yes, helping organizations find and fix weaknesses. Their motive is protection.
Then semi-authorized, like researchers.
Yeah, people who find vulnerabilities but usually report them responsibly, not exploit them maliciously.
And then the ones we usually mean when we say hacker in a negative sense. Unauthorized, unethical hackers.
Right, often motivated by financial gain, stealing data to sell, ransomware, credit card fraud, that kind of thing.
What about less skilled ones?
You have new or unskilled hackers, sometimes called script kiddies, using existing tools maybe for practice, revenge, or just to see if they can. Their impact can still be damaging, though.
And contracted hackers. Hackers for hire.
Yes, they can work for legitimate companies doing security testing, or they can be hired by criminals or even states for illegal activities.
And finally, vigilante hackers.
Sort of like digital vigilantes, yeah. Trying to fight back against unethical hackers, but operating outside the law themselves. It's a really diverse mix of actors, skills, and motivations.
Okay, let's quickly circle back to the CISSP security domains we mentioned. Those 8 areas.
Right, that framework helps organize all this. Security and risk management, asset security, security architecture, and engineering.
Communication and network security, identity and access management, security assessment and testing.
Security operations, and software development security. Yeah, the 8 domains.
They provide a structure for managing security, right?
Exactly. And as we've seen, different attacks touch different domains. Physical attacks hit asset security, password attacks, crypto attacks hit communication and network security.
Social engineering impacts risk management.
Supply chain attacks can span several. It helps ensure organizations take a holistic view, covering all the bases against these varied threats.
So wrapping up this deep dive, we've certainly covered a lot. From phishing nuances to ransomware's impact and the wide range of threat actors.
And understanding those methods, those motivations, that really is your first line of defense, just being aware.
It's also clear how interconnected everything is.
Definitely. Social engineering can lead to malware. Supply chain issues can be exploited by APTs or criminal groups. It's rarely just one single vulnerability in isolation.
It's more like a complex web of potential weaknesses.
Right. And it's always changing. As tech evolves, so do the attack tactics.
Which means staying informed, being critical.
Yeah.
That's essential.
Absolutely. Continuous learning is key. If any of this sparked your interest, resources like the NIST glossary are great for digging deeper into terms. Real-world case studies help too.
So the final thought for you, the listener.
Yeah.
Think about what we've discussed today. Reflect on your own digital habits, maybe the security practices where you work or interact.
Yeah. Are there small changes you could make? Things that might significantly reduce your vulnerability or your organization's?
Because this deep dive, really, it's just scratching the surface of an ongoing journey. Staying vigilant in this digital world is, well, it's crucial.